we don't share it with other people or we don't do it with others, right? So I was trying to use your application, and when it came to that point where I have to enter the credit card number, I was like little scared. I mean, is this safe to put this number here? So I haven't used it till now. I have downloaded it, but I never used it. So just saying, I mean, if someone never wants to come, doesn't want to use it, he won't use it. But just for that psychological block we have, you can make it a little more user friendly, that the screen and all. Just put a line there, don't worry, it's safe. Just
actually, from a security perspective, especially when you download the application, at the bottom you would see that besides our logo, we also have the Visa logo, which I think is the world's most trusted brand as such. But point taken, and I think that's valuable input, and most welcome to give us feedback, because we are at the stage where all feedback is welcome, and we hope to do the changes and make it customer friendly as well.
Push in the back, check.
Hi, my name is Harish from the financial services industry. My question is to Abhishek Sinha. If I get it right, you talked about Eco being based on the USSD platform. Is that right?
What you saw was USSD. What we also, so the perception we give to the customer is that of a missed call.
Right.
Okay, so it's a non-menu based online string of USSD. On a CDMA phone, this goes as a missed call.
No, supposing I were to use a normal GSM phone, let's say I want to do multiple transactions like account transfer and a deposit, let's say. So
Sure.
we have a menu probably with multiple calls going, messages going back and forth. Is that what it is?
No, okay, let me just expand this. In our pilot, what we learned is that across all payment instruments, the bank only teaches the customer to debit themselves. So we teach the customer only one transaction, that is to debit themselves. So say for example, I walk into this shop to withdraw money, I debit myself and credit the shopkeeper and he gives me cash. If he gives me bread and eggs, that's going to be payment. And if I'm going to make it, if I debit myself and credit you, that's going to be funds transfer.
So your portfolio of services includes what exactly right now? And
right now in the pilot, just deposit and withdrawal.
So vis-a-vis a service like Hello Money, how is it different? Because I'm just trying to get what is the differentiating factor of this particular service that you are providing?
Hello Money is a interface, a USSD based interface for the customer who's on the Barclays core banking system. Okay. Now when you talk about microfinance, we started working with a bank which used to pay up almost like $1 for opening every account on the core banking system. So then we don't work on that regular core banking system. We have an open source core banking system which was developed by Grameen Foundation. So what Hello Money gives you is a USSD based interface, and it's a menu based interface. What we give to the customer is just a dialing interface. I deal with customers who are barely number literate. They don't even store their numbers on the handset. They keep a diary and then they'll open the diary when they want to make a call. So it's just number dialing for that customer.
Okay, thanks.
Credit card. So how is it possible not to duplicate a SIM card and make the transaction only continue to the user? I don't know about CDMA. I don't think CDMA can be duplicated. So SIM card can be GSM SIM card can be duplicated.
There are two. I know that I've been with telco, so I know the SIM card cloning will happen. But you cannot, even if you clone the SIM card, latch onto the network when the primary person is on the network. Because it is going to essentially send the same credentials, and it's not going to be allowed to latch onto the network. So that's first response. Other is in all our transactions, you have to enter a 6-digit PIN to do the transaction. So even if you get my phone, for instance, you cannot do anything with it. 3 times you enter the wrong PIN, you're locked out of the network, and then you go to the banking process to get back on. So effectively, customer or user security is maintained with the PIN that's something that a user knows. and be it on any of the platforms that we use, be it on IB or USSD, Java application or the SIM-based application, you always have to enter your PIN to authenticate the transaction. So without the PIN, without the handset, you're not going to be able to do it.
So folks, much as there are a whole bunch of other questions, I think we have already used up chai, so there is no tea, the tea break is finished. And the next talk will start immediately after we are done, so please take your questions to all the speakers outside, and my apologies for not being able to entertain any more questions as a part of this session. Thanks so much, and thank you everybody for coming by.
Next, I would like to invite Abhishek. Shashi Kumar. Raj Raghavan. Naveen. I request Raja to present the memento to Dr. Ashish. We do have a small tea break. We are already running late, so we'll keep the tea break very short to 10 minutes and reassemble in another 10 minutes. Right now it's 11:55. Let's get back by 12:05.
Our experience or what we are seeing as some of the key trends that are happening in the current vast space in India in general. So I think this is a no-brainer for all of us. All of us keep reading the. So all of us know that indeed that the growth is coming from the bottom of the pyramid. There was a really good session in the morning talking about how much of the growth is really coming from the low-end users, and all of us also understand that there's really limited disposable incomes now, and that the devices that are being sold into this market space is really very basic. What it means is that if you look at India and you look at the fact that we are almost at the 300 million or so mark, we can't anymore start treating that large 300 million members as really one single market. And it's going to be really important for us to start doing segmentation. Without effective segmentation, we are not really going to be successful in VAS, because there are too many, and there are many ways to look at the segmentation problem that's really there. And one of the hardest things that existing players or today players that as us face is how do we create products, or when we create products, how do we really go out and find the people in this 300 million who we can target for our products. And that's really hard work. So it's good to get a little insight of how this market is structured. If you really look at the high-end, the high-ends do exist. It's great to see the official launch of the Apple iPhone. All of you know that the iPhone's been around on the grey market a little longer. The beauty of the iPhone is it's really high-end. There are many other instruments like the high-end, but that's about 2% of the market today. But that's not still very small. When you look at the fact that on that it's still about 7 million users, and all are high ARPU users, that means that there's still an opportunity for a significant number of applications for the high-end space that somebody can do. And these are all users who are really comfortable with data services. It's not, these users are non-savvy, they're not very different from any kind of consumer you might find in a developed part of the world. At the same time, if you look at the larger chunks of the market, which is what we would call as the mid-end kind of the market based on the